Hello guys and welcome back to MonLabo Linux. Today we're going to be talking about Podman and Minikube integration to run a Kubernetes cluster on it on Rocket Linux. So without further ado, I would like to mention that using Minikube as a whole on Rocket Linux, it's relatively easy. That if you want something like Podman, if you want something specific to Podman, how to use it, then this tutorial is for you. So stick until the end to see how we can run a Kubernetes cluster using Podman. So without further ado, we first need to have a Flatpak install. So let's do that really quick if we can do that. So here I can simply open my terminal. So yes, after opening my terminal, I can start typing my commands here. So the first command will be to install Flatpak. So let's go ahead and try that. And as you can see, it is already installed. But the very first thing is to try to do an update. So you can do sudo dnf update -y and see if there is any update available for you. Okay, in my case, it's already updated. So let's just continue. Then the next thing is to see if we can add a Flatpak repository. So we're going to do that just now. So after adding it, we're going to be now searching for Podman desktop and see if we can get it from the new repository. And as you can see, we have the Podman ready for us to be used. So we're gonna be installing the application now. So so in order to do that, we need to install so we have to install the application by its ID, and for some reason on this terminal I'm kind of having some issues, so I'm gonna start with another terminal, which is the terminal from the server itself. So let me go with the terminal. No, not this one, sorry. So I'm just gonna open that here, and we will go like this. So I'm gonna search that again from here. Okay, and let's see what we got. Okay, so let me reduce this just a little bit, and then I will come back with it again. And as you can see, we have the application ID here. So when you search, you usually install the application by its application ID. So we're gonna copy this, okay, and then we're gonna type sudo flatpak install, and then what is the repository from where you can get it, flathub. And then we're gonna put the application itself and -y to accept. I'm gonna just input my password there, hit enter, and it's gonna go ahead and install everything for us. And as you can see, it is done. So let's now continue with the next step, which is to check if the application has been installed. So here we can type Podman, and we can see that Podman desktop has been installed successfully. So let's just open it and see what we got. Oh, nice. So as we can see here, we are presented with few stuff that we can keep on accepting, okay, until the end. So I'm gonna accept that, and then I'm gonna accept again, 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 and put my password once it is asking me for that again. And here I'm gonna put my password and go again. You can stop to read, but it's going to install compose and other kubectl and other stuff as well. And next, I'm gonna do that again. Put my password, next, and voila. So the next step is to install the Kubernetes cluster, but I'm not gonna go ahead with Kind because Kind has been giving me a lot of headaches. Or if you know how to do that with Kind on Podman install on Rocky Linux, go ahead, but be my guest. But for me, I'm gonna go with something else. So very quick here, I'm gonna go with extensions, and then this is where I'm gonna add Minikube. So right here, if you don't see that, you can type here Minikube, okay, and then you type here. So once you type there, it's going to say already installed. So this is just Minikube from here, but we still need to install something. So if you come here, you will see that Minikube is not part of this list here. When you click on Kubernetes, okay, it's not part of this list here. So we need to have Minikube here. So for that, you click on settings, and then you scroll down. So you click on settings, then you go to CLI, and on CLI you go to Minikube, and then you click install. You choose your version of your choice, and then you wait for the installation to proceed, and it's going to ask you to install a system wide so that you can use the command everywhere. Put your password, again, and it has been installed. So this way now you can start typing Minikube. Okay, so I'm gonna continue from here. Okay, so I guess I can continue from here. So now let me increase that a little bit. So now we can, so we just did this step here. So now we can go ahead and continue with the remaining. So we have to open. So now if you go here, so now if you come here on Kubernetes, you will see that you have Minikube cluster here. It wasn't there before. But the thing is that if you come here, you click Minikube, Podman, the container runtime, everything, you click on create, you will have, if you click on logs here, okay, so if you click there, you will see a message like this that is asking you to either enter your user into the sudo file, or and then run this command. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna be running this command instead, so you can go ahead with this one, but I'm gonna keep stuff really simple. So I'm gonna run this minikube config set rootless true. So it's also part of my doc here, so if you want I can share that with you. It will be available in the description down below. So so for that, first you have to use the terminal. So, and to use the terminal, since we want to use Podman, by default it's going to be Podman, but I just want to make sure that Minikube is straightly using Podman as its default driver instead of VirtualBox or something like Docker. So I'm gonna do that, and then you say these changes will take effect upon a Minikube delete and then start. So now we're gonna say okay. So we're gonna run that command that they said, and then we're gonna paste that here. And once we type, if you go back there, you will still be having the same problem. And for some reason, I don't know why, but it looks like they are not connected together at some point. So, so if I was to close that, for example, and reopen the application, so here you can see that if I click here, it's asking me to create it again. And if I come here and click on create again, I'm having the same issue. So it's having the same issue for some reason. And no matter which one I choose here, so the driver is only this one that I want. And here, if I was to choose containerd and try, nothing. So the thing about this is that you need to create something. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So after doing that, so here from the command line as well, so what is happening is that Minikube is trying to run your Minikube command with sudo, okay? But if we also try that here, okay, so let me clean up that, and I'm gonna bring that up here and try to paste that, okay, and do this. So now you see that it says it's using Minikube rootless, which means that it's not going to be using the sudo command anymore to do to run Minikube. So that's the alternative that I found. Okay, so it's using rootless Podman driver. So let's wait for that to finish. So it's still going. So let's wait. So as you can see, it is failing, okay, with this error message here. So user NS CPU controller needs to be delegated, and then it will fail. So when it does that, you just have to, so let me close that. So when it does that, you just have to yeah, so this is the error message that you will receive here, okay. So when it does that, you just delete the cluster again, okay. So you delete the traces of the cluster to make sure that no volumes or whatever is there, because it will keep some volumes around. So if you were to go to up volume, so you will see here, and then it might fail again based on that. And it has some images here. So we're gonna be running some commands. Oops. So we're gonna be deleting that, okay, and then so let's do that. Is that there? Then so now it's done, okay. So next step is to do it. So we need to create a specific folder called user@service.d. Okay, that will be specific to the user running the container, because there is something that we need to install to the system D unit so that it can allow that service to run efficiently. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to type this command. So sudo mkdir-p and then type enter. Nice. So now that we have that folder, because it wasn't there, okay, so now we're gonna be typing this command, okay. So we can type this exactly as you can see here, okay. But if you are entering it manually, please make sure this is capital S here, because I had a problem with that, as well as this capital D here. So let's go ahead and try that, okay. So where was that command again? Right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. Oops, since I'm using fish here, it's gonna be a little bit of problem, so I prefer to do something like bash, okay, and type enter, so type that here and type enter. Alright, so now we will have that file there, so I can clearly type exit here. So now we will have that file there, and we can, of course, we can check the content again. Okay, oops, we can check the content and see that we have this. All right, so we are delegating CPU set, iOS, IO, memory, and PID. Originally it was just CPU, but let's just put everything together so that we don't have any other surprise. Okay, so now we're gonna reload the systemctl daemon. Okay, so let's just do that here. So let's reload the daemon with systemctl command. So now if you come here, click here, you want to see the volume. The email is still there, okay, so that it will be quick to start over again. But we don't have any Kubernetes cluster till now. So the thing to do is to come here now and try that again. So we're gonna be typing this again, okay, type enter, and let's see what we get. So now as you can see, it says preparing Kubernetes 1.33.1 on containerd 1.7.27. Earlier it wasn't able to do that, but now you can see that it's going through. So problem solved. Alright, so now let's go and verify our cluster. You can see that the cluster is now here. We can see the namespaces, everything. Okay, so you can see all your resources. Alright, so you can see if you can see your node, you can see the deployments, if you have any. For example, if you go to another kubectl namespace, kube system namespace, we see core DNS here, for example. Okay, so let me just get out of there. So you can see pod services, you can see ingresses and routes. Okay, that's the nice thing about it. It comes with ingress controller already pre-installed on it. You can see if you have some config maps and secrets as well, jobs, cron jobs, pod forwarding. So now what I propose is to create a pod just to test what we have, okay, and see how it works. So so what we can do is to come over here to the terminal again. Let's do this. Let's clear this. So you can type here Minikube status as well, just to check and make sure that we have everything set up. Okay, so everything is good here. So now if we do kubectl run -- help, for example, you should see that we have quite a few of stuff here. But if we were to come to the very first one here, oops, sorry about this, it's very long. Okay, so we're gonna run something with pod, okay, for example, with a port number, so that we run nginx. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and say kubectl run, and here, so nginx on port 80, and here I will say nginx, okay, and then here I will say nginx dash app. Okay, so now I will run that, and as you can see here, he immediately reflected right here. If you come to pod, you will see nginx dash app that is running. Okay, that is starting, or yeah, started and it's running successfully. So if you click on it, not sure what's going on here, but it should normally take us to the application. Okay, no problem. So as you can see, we have only one service here, so we're gonna be creating that service. So if we say the kubectl expose svc slash nginx dash app, okay, and then we type enter. Oops. Oh, sorry, that's the part, right? Sorry. Okay, so now it has been exposed, so you can see here that we have a nginx service that has been exposed. For some reason, not sure why, I'm not able to click to see the resources, but that's fine. So I was able to do that earlier. So now after exposing the service, so we can do that here, kubectl get svc. So you can see that we have a service running here 35 seconds ago. So now we're going to be doing port forward since it is an internal cluster IP. Okay, so we need to do port forwarding. So kubectl port dash forward, okay, and then svc slash nginx dash app space. So we need to expose that, and we have to do that with the port number. So we're gonna say 8080 from our local machine, and from the service or the port is going to be this. So we're going to do this, and now if we take this IP, okay, so we copy that, and we come to our browser, we paste that here. Let's see what we got. Nginx is there, nice. And the same thing, if you want, you can also do that here, but not sure why I'm not able to click, because you can also do that here. Let me close everything here and come back to it. Yeah, sometimes you need to give it some pushes so that it can work. So as you can see here, we have the terminal that gets us directly inside the pod, and here we have the kube manifest file that we run, okay, with the port number that we exposed, and we have some logs here, okay, about the pod, about the container running inside the pod and how it behaves, and here is a summary of everything. Here we have the service as well. You can click on it and do port forward on it, or you can see the kube's the service YAML manifest, okay, and then you can do yeah, so we can come here, we do port forward, and then we open to the browser, and we see that from the browser we open on port 50,000, and we still have nginx. So if you like what you see here, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to support the channel, please. Your like, comment give really well a value to this channel. Bye.